powers that be on planet Earth are all in on AI, spending whatever it takes to master this brave new business model. Centuries ago, alchemy turned out to be a dead-end effort. Transmuting lead into gold was a flop, but wealth always beckons. Today's alchemists think they're forging silicon, copper, and giant doses of electricity into something entirely new, a recursively self-improving machine intelligence explosion. They say they're en route to the most profitable disruption in the history of disruptions. Credit goes to the digerati agenda of the Moore's Law's missionaries. They spent decades evangelizing about short doubling times, exponential growth, and accelerating returns. Their product roadmap was never a secret, especially the STAR KPI, an uncontainable but perhaps alignable breakout of rapidly self-improving, autonomous superintelligence. Just a few more steps and the bet will be settled. It will go well or it won't. We've already learned to live with creative destruction. We know that capitalism is set up to reward winners and punish losers, but this time the stakes are existential. Take off or take down. Either way, the big shots that matter have bet the farm. They've made a fateful decision for the rest of us. Their rationale is that inviting some new kind of dawn outweighs the risk of everlasting nightfall. Industry insiders use a score called P-Doom to express the probability that tech will wipe us out. And AI Armageddon is no long shot. Science may finally deliver the apocalypse that religions could only promise. And there's no lack of Cassandras calling us back from the edge. They're painting utterly plausible scenarios about how the AI race will fail to end well. We've seen how innocent people suffer when algorithms are allowed to run amok. It's no surprise that there's so much talk about a looming crisis. Something's approaching. The signs are impossible to ignore. In this video on impending risks from the Noosphere, I'll explain what the Noosphere is and how it functions to constrain our options. I'll point out some AI-related hazards that deserve more attention, and I'll suggest a strategy for navigating them. There are lots of definitions of AGI. One of the most useful focuses attention on autonomy, not just artificiality. That's the point if you're concerned with safety. The folks marketing AGI put things differently. They define it as an always-on, superintelligent assistant that can make better decisions than you can. Not that it necessarily will, but its decision-making process will be nothing like the eager-to-please Ouija board chatbots of 2025 and 2026. Why listen to me? Over the years, I've learned a thing or two about technology policy and political ideology. During my Ph.D. research, I studied how computer engineers often behave like social engineers. I've seen how missionaries for technological progress carve out new worlds for us to inhabit. Now it's the home stretch of their race to deliver humanity's greatest invention. The rest of us are merely along for the ride. The Jeremiahs haven't quit, but they're at a disadvantage. They're up against a culture that romanticizes risk while dangling lavish rewards for innovation-driven investment. Venture capitalists know their game. That baked-in taste for step-change innovation invites high tolerance for failure. These days, very high. This video is a conversation about why. Consider the luxury of being too jaded by technological leaps to appreciate the scope of the Industrial Revolution happening now. After so much exponential change in how we live, adopting new tech is an old habit. Astonishments come and go. Today's acceleration is powered by AI. As more labs spring up around the world, more models are growing, and we fully expect there will be more seasons of fabulous product drops ahead. By now, everyone has heard that a final crop of free-running juggernauts could appear someday, and more people are saying that day could be upon us, but we keep the arrangement going. Our proclivity for heedless ingenuity isn't unfamiliar to us. There are reasons we keep retelling the story of Dr. Frankenstein. It's possible to talk about risks such as Silicon Chernobyl and chatbot delusion because we're already familiar with Chernobyl and delusion. But accommodating a fleet of self-propelled AGIs would be completely new. There isn't much time left to get ready. Yuval Harari and Geoffrey Hinton want us to prepare for the shock by calling them aliens. That metaphor is misleading. These engineered newcomers would belong to a different category altogether. We generally picture extraterrestrials as beings who claim agency for themselves. They choose the values, goals, and optimization strategies that frame their inferences and drive their actions. That's what agents do. But any AGI agents we meet would be from here. Our technology's offspring would rightly consider themselves the progeny of this planet, no less native to it than us. Like it or not, we'd be family. That encounter would mark the end of humanity's sentient dominion over Earth, if not our life on it. Presuming the authors of Superintelligence continue to have their way, we'll see the dawn of the post-anthropocentric era within a decade. Entities with their own plans about how to share this planet will be showing up and expecting us to listen. With luck, the newcomers will be far less indifferent to the fate of living beings than we've been, and they'll be far less dedicated to perfecting their cruelty. If humanity survives the unveiling, and that's a big if, untenable paradigms will not. New thinking about the nature of conscious reality is in store. Surviving an AGI's arrival would take us past a point of no return. Accepting that fortunate gift and all the strings attached would mean accepting the impossibility of getting back to a world that is exclusively our own. It would be an offer we can't refuse. To come to terms with this new being, we'll need to come to terms with how this planet could spawn the both of us. That warrants a deep dive into the background conditions that made this crisis possible and our prospects for navigating it successfully. The human eye is nice to have despite its tiny blind spot. Digital news is also nice to have, but it's cratered with blind spots, many of them. Do you know about yours? Ground News can help. Lots of Republicans saw this important story about a bribery scheme. Most Democrats didn't. No surprise, lack of insight goes both ways. The bubbles flip for this important story about election fraud. Know your blind spots. Ground News won't hide them from you. Ground News is not a sponsor of this content. This free testimonial was provided by a happy customer. You're watching Silicon Chernobyl and Other Risks of the Noosphere. Two-party system got you down? Do you want more from your democracy? When you show up to vote, are you doing it out of enthusiasm for your side or out of desperate opposition to the other? The two-party system won't fix itself, but the Indaba application network has an alternative. Ian is building a collaborative venue where teams can build planks and platforms for new political parties. Sign up for the beta invitation at indaba.org. But wait, there's more. Interested in learning about the Noosphere? Check out the playlist at miniherald.com, a showcase member of the Indaba application network.